Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hey guys, how you doing?
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
Crackers.
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment and Crackers. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good week so far. Hope your Tuesday was not Tuesday. I don't have something for that. I tried. I thought I could come up with something. Try to be quick on my mental feet, but no, I'm not. Not today. Not after the workday I had, because everything was going swimmingly until about the last quarter, and then stuff showed up, and it was like, oh, now I have an emergency, and I can't do anything about it until tomorrow. So I get to sit with it on my mind until tomorrow morning, which is no fun.
You know what I think about every time I hear the word swimmingly?
What's that?
The South Park episode where Cartman thinks he has his period, and he's actually got a intestinal problem. But the other Kenny gets it, and then Kyle fakes it, and Cartman asks him how his period's going, and he says, "It's going swimmingly."
You really need to get out more, Monkey.
It's not my fault. That word will forever be male period to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, that's a you problem.
Now it's a you problem.
No. So anyway, Satsu, Monkey, how are you? How are you, Satsu?
I'm good. You sounded like the Mexican maid when you said no on a Family Guy.
Okay, is it just going to be like, I remember this thing from a cartoon that I'm now going to reference? Is that going to be it tonight? Is that all it's going to be? Okay.
Well,
all right.
Hold on.
You know what? You're right. Okay, you've opened the door, and I will walk through it all night. Because I have a memory of cartoon shit. Just wait.
I have to ask you first.
Yes.
If we do that,
will
it annoy you?
No, it's there now. There's no way. Look, if I said it'll annoy me, you're going to do it anyway.
What?
So
yes. Your expectations of me
are well informed, is what they are. My expectations are well informed.
That may be true, but
yes,
I'm still offended.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, I'll take that. That's Satsu's report. Unless you got something else to say.
Nah, I ain't got nothing else to say.
Hey, Monkey, how are you?
Sore. Overdid it today. I cooked dinner. I went shopping. I did dishes. I made dessert. And now I'm ready to die, y'all.
Jesus. Let's not. Okay? Let's not. Not quite yet. We still have some MSS news to do before you can die. That's the new rule now.
I'll do my best.
Before you die.
I'll do my best not to interrupt the show when I die.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Just go quietly into the night.
I'm a giver. How are you, Scribe?
I am, like I said, I'm okay. The day was fine, quiet, peaceful, and then our programmer who was out of the office yesterday comes back in and says, "Hey, remember that thing you asked me about last Friday?" I'm like, "Yeah." Well, here's what I found, and I'm like, "No, I take it back. I don't want to know it now." But now I know a thing, and it's a work anyway. It's a problem that may not be as big a problem as it seems. We have to check some things, and I won't go into details. But it's one of those things where it's like, I really don't want to have to tell the boss that this is what's going on, and B, I really don't want to have the boss have to tell our client this is what's going on, because it's one of those like shit, one of those things. So.
Older Mind says, "You cook? Holy crap, I'm a very good cook." I've told this story before. My mom made sure her boys can cook, so, quote, didn't have to rely on any damn women.
Remember, everyone, overturn the 19th Amendment.
No, amended.
Oh, pardon moi. And also Sarah Pliers says, hello to everyone. She has to work tonight, so she just wanted me to say hi.
Hey, Sarah.
She tweeted out that message. But anyway, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already. And a sore amount of you have not, from what I can see. It doesn't take much effort. You know, I won't even send you to adulting class to click the button, but I would appreciate it. And share our stuff. Watch it, like it, share it, retweet it, Facebook it. Because as even Jordan Peterson doesn't quite understand today, you need to share things for them to be seen. Did you see that?
I did not.
Oh, so Jordan Peterson, he sent out a tweet complaining that he and Dave Rubin posted the same video. It was about their whole Patreon project. And his has 150,000 likes, and Dave Rubin's had, at least at the time, had 75,000 likes. And YouTube, what the hell's wrong with you? Why this is the problem with people not, getting everything. And it's like, Jordan, that just means that you have more subscribers than Dave Rubin. People clicked on your video more than they did his. That's not necessary. That's not really YouTube's problem per se. I mean, they may not be advertising it as much as you'd prefer, but the numbers aren't there because YouTube did something to you. It's actually the market such as it is. So that was a little awkward to have to look at.
Computer science is not his fault.
Yeah. Several people said, "Do you even YouTube?" Let's see. Was there anything else? Not that I can remember.
Do you think Jordan actually does his own shit?
Well, I mean, what? Like buy his own groceries and that kind of stuff?
No, I mean, like, take care of his own YouTube now.
Probably not. Probably not. I'd imagine he's probably more involved in speaking tours and academic things than he is in trying to learn the fineries of the YouTube system and algorithms and such. Because he doesn't need to do YouTube to make a living. Right. He's fine. So if it's somebody who makes it their vocation knows a hell of a lot more about YouTube than somebody who just sort of has it as a one extra outlet for their speaking tours. Let's see. So anything else? Do you guys you're not streaming tonight, are you, or gaming?
No, not tonight. But we have our open server tomorrow, and if you guys play with us on the open server, we're starting all over. Sorry, we have to. Just letting you know.
Yeah, the past two updates were significant, so kind of have to.
All right. Well then, shall we get into the news?
Indeed.
Let's get right now. So, per the title of the stream is a sidewise reference to Laverne and Shirley, because today, Penny Marshall, co-star of Laverne and Shirley and director of A League of Their Own and several other things, died at 75. Actress Penny Marshall, who found fame in TV's Laverne and Shirley before going on to direct such beloved films as Big and A League of Their Own, has died. She was 75. Marshall died peacefully in her Hollywood Hills home on Monday night due to complications from diabetes, said Michelle Bega, a spokeswoman for the family. Quote, "Our family is heartbroken over the passing of Penny Marshall," the Marshall family said in a statement. Marshall, whose real name was Carol Marshall, grew up in the Bronx, if you couldn't tell by her accent. Her brother was famed producer and director Gary Marshall, who directed a string of hit movies, including Pretty Woman and The Princess Diaries, and who died in 2016. Describing her upbringing, Marshall, who wrote a memoir titled My Mother Was Nuts, once said, quote, "You had to form a sense of humor, else you'd kill yourself. You had to learn what sarcasm was." If only more people on the internet would learn that lesson.
Thank you.
What did I just hear?
My
Lady
wife
Monkey
delivering me cookies.
You get cookies?
Hey, baby, I love you.
I don't have anybody delivering me cookies.
Me neither.
Well, Squishy will get you saltines. It's like a cookie.
It's like the worst cookie ever.
Well, I mean, it is the worst cookie ever, but it's kind of like a cookie. In the Dark Ages, they would have thought it was a luxury.
That almost triggered me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Safe space. Satsu needs a safe space.
From those damn crackers.
Anyway, this goes on for a while, but yeah. So if you guys, those of you who are like, my age or Monkey's age or older, you'll remember Laverne and Shirley. My parents watched it a lot when I was a kid. I remember the theme song and all that stuff. After Laverne and Shirley, I never really heard about Penny Marshall again, but I remember seeing Big, League of Their Own. They were good movies.
You don't remember how talked about she was because of that?
Because of Laverne and Shirley?
Yeah. Well, no, because of Big and A League of Their Own.
I mean, I remember she directed them. I don't have any clear memories of her being like. I mean, I'm sure she got a lot of.
She got a lot of press for it. She did.
I'm sure she did. I wasn't paying attention to movies as closely back then at my age compared to what you were.
You know what she directed that they're not talking much about?
Do tell.
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Oh, I'm a little black woman in a big silver box.
Big silver box, yes. I fucking love that movie.
That movie is nuts, especially like I think that was the first time I ever saw Jonathan Pryce. He's Jack. You don't see him until the end of the movie, of course. That movie that's a kooky movie.
That's a great movie, yeah.
The talking computer. Oh man. My clearest memory is from the trailer where she's like, "I'm a little black woman in a big silver box," and she's being drugged like down the street while she's trapped inside the phone booth.
Phone booth, yeah.
Back when they had phone booths, you remember phone booths?
I do. You know what I realized today? A lot of people that I never thought were that old are dying.
I know, right?
Of old age. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, people are sending me cookies on the chat. Thank you, guys.
These are no bakes, man, that I made.
My reminder that I was getting old on the way back from visiting my folks. My sister handed me her phone, and I played DJ, sort of picking out some songs to listen to. And I picked out a couple that we both like, and I was like, "Yeah, this is a great song." And then I looked at when it was released. It was like 1996, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it was that long ago." I was like, "Shit, this still sounds like it could have come out yesterday. It's so good." But no, it's old. It's really weird to think about how songs I was listening to that were my parents' types of songs when I was a kid from like the 70s. That's pretty much where I'm at right now with the songs I still like. Thank you, Nighthawk. Hi, guys. Haven't been catching the streams in a while. Been super busy. I thought I'd show you some love to show I haven't forgot about you guys and chat. So here's an early Christmas present. Well, thank you, Nighthawk. That's very generous.
Thank you. That's a very nice. Wow.
Thank you so much. I said before, guys, and I put a tweet out about this. I won't go too deeply into it, but again, thank you guys so much for all of your time and attention and generosity to both myself and Monkey and Satsu and just about anybody else that you hang out with. It is very overwhelming, and I've said before, I don't really have the words to express my gratitude over everything you guys do for us and just showing up, sending us stories, and it's really nice. The poverty of my vocabulary. I don't have a way to say it otherwise. But not to get too sappy about it, let's go on to some more news. How's about that?
Please.
So, do you guys like Mueller investigations?
I didn't like it yesterday. I don't. Okay.
It's still a thing, unfortunately. Court orders company to comply with special counsel subpoena in mystery grand jury appeal. So this is kind of an extension of what we were talking about. Was it yesterday it must have been yesterday. We're talking about like the secret meeting, the secret court hearing they were having.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one that emptied out an entire level of the courthouse. Yeah.
So this is a breaking story. 4 days after attorneys secretly argued over a grand jury subpoena suspected to be related to special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian influence in the 2016 election, a federal appeals court is forcing an unnamed company to comply with the subpoena. The appeals court did not identify the company, nor did the appellate judges say the subpoena was related to the Mueller investigation. The company that sought to quash the subpoena is owned by a foreign country, the ruling Tuesday said. But the hearing Friday came after several other secretive court clashes between Mueller's team and the company that received the subpoena, apparently over a grand jury action. The U.S. Circuit Court in D.C. has locked down an entire floor of the courthouse Friday to prevent disclosure of the lawyers' identities. So it's more secret stuff. We know a little bit more about some of what's going on in the secret stuff, but we still know what the fuck's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Circus Zero. Cookie money. Oh boy, cookies. Cookies. I'll get some. I haven't had Chips Ahoy in a long time. Have they remained good-ish?
I had a bag of them 2 days ago.
All right, so they've. I mean, I'm always curious because like there'll be things I ate when I was a kid, and I'll go for years without having them, and then I'll pick up a bag or something, years after the fact, and they'll have changed their production or their recipe just a little bit, and it's a little bit different than I remember when I was a kid. Like I remember Chips Ahoy used to be like these really thick sort of cookies, and now they're kind of thinned down a bit.
They're still really good. They just they can take out a few of the chocolate chips, in my opinion, but they're still good. Yeah.
Or the chewy Chips Ahoy.
I do not like those anymore.
You don't like those anymore? Okay, I don't know if they. Yeah, I remember liking them when I was a kid. I don't know if they changed them or they're kind of gotten old. But anyway, so yeah, that was the entire article, guys. It's like, okay, so by the way, remember that secret thing we're talking about where we didn't really have any details, but we had some indications? Well, here's some more secret stuff. We still don't have any details. So a foreign-owned company Mueller investigation. Would I be off in betting it's a Russian-owned company?
Probably not. It's probably what it is.
But I guess
probably some phone bank or something.
Yeah, or a troll farm. In other news, you guys like a border wall?
Sure.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna happen.
Well, in a reversal, the White House shifts border wall funding demands and wants to avoid a shutdown.
Yeah.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders suggested Tuesday that the White House has found an alternative way to get its requested $5 billion in funding for a U.S.-Mexico border wall, marking a reversal from President Donald Trump's previous position. While Democratic leaders immediately rejected the proposal, the comments represented the White House's most significant steps in recent weeks toward trying to avert a partial government shutdown ahead of a Friday deadline. With Democratic opposition, however, members of Congress on both sides appeared to be instead considering a short-term extension of funding to move the deadline beyond the year-end holiday season into Congress's new term, which begins January 3rd. So kicking the can down the road. Good job.
Which would end any possibility for funding of the wall.
Exactly. And will also make it the problem of some of the incoming freshman representatives and such when the time. Well, actually, when do they get sworn in? Oh, sorry, inaugurated.
Mid-January usually.
Is it mid-January? Okay. Earlier Tuesday, Sanders indicated that the White House could support a compromise bill to avoid such a shutdown. Quote, "We have other ways that we can get to that $5 billion, Sanders said Tuesday morning during an interview with Fox News. We will work with Congress if they will make sure we get a bill passed that provides not just the funding for the wall. There's a piece of legislation that's been pushed around that Democrats actually voted 26-5 out of committee that provides roughly $26 billion for border security, including $1.6 billion for the wall." That's something we would be able to support as long as we can couple that with other funding resources. Well, secret's out, Sarah. The Democrats aren't going to play ball.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, you guys might be backing down now, but it's about, too little too late. It's done.
It's so weird, the opposition against it, though, because the only people who are going to be disadvantaged by the wall are people trying to get in illegally, because anybody trying to get in legally wouldn't need to scale a wall to do so.
No, the people that'll be disadvantaged by the wall are the Democrats, because Trump has made it his signature little centerpiece. I mean, it's a symbol. It's a symbol of Trump being able to succeed. The Democrats can't have Trump appear to be succeeding. And so stifling his ability to put up a wall kind of does that. So I'm not even sure it's really the money so much than it is letting Trump have a victory. It's akin, if you want to do sort of a one-for-one comparison of Obama and Obamacare, Trump and the wall. The Republicans did everything they could to undercut and or do away with Obamacare, both during Obama's presidency and afterwards, obviously. But the wall is Trump's sort of symbolic centerpiece for not only his attitude, but his administration. The Democrats can't have that go through, else it looks like the Democrats can't get anything done. which they
Well,
can't really, but they can, block.
but there was it should have never got to this point. The Republicans have held the House and Senate for 2 fucking years. Why is this a
Yep.
last minute thing?
Well, I mean, how was it so difficult for Obama to get health care passed when he had the same situation? I mean,
Well,
the parties aren't unified. They're never unified because everybody's looking out for themselves, and nobody's quite sure whether or not they want to ally themselves with a brand new president who might be controversial down the line, and whether or not that's going to help their own political careers, etc. So,
in Obama's case, it became a rush because they knew they were going to lose a supermajority in the Senate. They
Yes.
still got it passed pretty quickly for how big that goddamn bill was.
well, but they had to make a whole lot of concessions to get it done in time too.
They did, but at least they got it done. They had 2 fucking years, and this
Yeah.
is they've never really even spoke about it.
Well, this is the efficiencies of government, even when you have all the power. So.
Fuck.
Well, I
Fucking
feel like the reasonings were different too, because like the Obama situation was a more, I guess, kind of, well, maybe less controversial topic. It was just like healthcare for people who need it, even though one of the other sides may have had an issue with implementation, both I feel like are for healthcare in general.
No,
But the wall,
Yeah.
the controversy behind the wall is if you think anything about the wall being in place, like it should be or anything like that, then you're immediately racist. Like it was, I think that's a little bit touchier.
No, not the way the Republicans handled it when it first came out. Obamacare was seen as death panels. That was the big thing. People are going to decide whether or not you live or die. They played up this whole conspiracy theory that Obama was trying to set up a way to like kill off grandma and all this other stuff. It wasn't true, but healthcare, even if you take away the conspiracy stuff, isn't any less controversial to people because you're talking about people's entitlements, you're talking about their health decisions, you're talking about people's money and everything else. So, there were a lot of Democrats who wanted healthcare to go one way, a lot of Democrats who wanted to go another way, and there's a whole bunch of Republicans back then that said no. So, yeah, no, it was a different genre of argument, but it was no less controversial, in my opinion, fundamentally than the wall is, because you've got people that support Trump on the Republican side, people that don't, and you got the Democrats who are wholly against it. It's different things, but a very similar dynamic, I think. Thank you, Nope. Would Dems blow up the wall like Trump blew up Obamacare? Is Mashisu female? Mashisu is female. Would the Dems blow? Well, I mean, the Dems are, at least in the abstract, they are blowing up the wall in the sense that they are obstructing its being funded. And they will do that as long as they are able to. Trump may eventually get some money for it, but he's not going to get the $5 billion that he wants. Anything that Trump sets as his desire, the Democrats will do everything they can to make sure it falls far short of that.
Well, Trump, man, if he was a little bit smarter, he could manipulate shit out of that. Just figure out all the things that they want and be like, hey, I want that now. And they'll be like, fuck.
Yeah, well, there's only so much you can do in that regard till you start handing Democrats wins that you don't want to give away.
They're too stupid to take them. They'll fucking fight it anyway because they're idiots.
Thank you, Three-Sided Coin. A defense budget is greater than $500 billion for less than $500 billion for fiscal year 2018. Requesting more next year. Use some of that instead of buying more tanks. We just mothball anyway. B, what happened to Mexico paying for it? Okay, well, A, you can never reduce the defense budget because those are jobs in various states making the parts and the vehicles and the equipment and everything else that fuel our military. And so if you reduce the defense budget, every state or every representative that has constituents who produce stuff for the military are going to scream bloody murder. And that's always been the way, and that'll always be the way. So reducing the defense budget is not as easy as people think it is. Mathematically, it makes sense. We dump so much money into that, and a lot of it is wasted. But try explaining that to, all the factory workers in, Kentucky or something that are making airplane parts for a plane that'll never fly, but they're employed and they're feeding their families, that kind of stuff. B, what happened to Mexico paying for it? Well, that was... what was it? Trump said that, but then they sort of revised it to say, "Oh, well, it means that we're going to raise tariffs or something on Mexico in order that they effectively." Yeah,
it wouldn't be that they just write us a check for it,
right? We'd make it. We'd extract the funds from Mexico through taxation and tariffs and things. Given what's happened with China in that regard, I'm not sure Trump is ready to start a different trade war with our neighbor to the south. At least not to the extent that it would take to actually fund the wall to the money that he wants. So, yeah, pie in the sky at best, I think. Thank you, Three-Sided Coin again. That was a greater than symbol and right. Yeah, well, I'm not a math whiz. I don't know anything.
Did you get that one from Nope Nope? Did I just miss you saying it?
Let's build a wall of tanks. Thank you, Nope Nope. Sorry, my chat jumped right over that. A wall of tanks? What about a world of tanks? I hear that's pretty popular. Last story, and this one kind of flew under the radar, given everything else that's going on, because I didn't see it posted anywhere else. But a federal panel of judges has dismissed all 83 ethics complaints against Brett Kavanaugh.
Really?
A specially appointed federal panel of judges has dismissed all 83 ethics complaints brought against Justice Brett Kavanaugh regarding his conduct at his confirmation hearings. The judges concluded that while the complaints, quote, are serious, unquote, there is no existing authority that allows lower court judges to investigate or discipline Supreme Court justices. That's interesting to me. Are the Supreme Court justices thus immune from judicial censure?
Pretty much, yeah.
So they are, after a fashion, above the law.
No. Congress can still be impeached.
Sure, but above judicial review. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, basically. I mean, they are the
Yeah,
cream of the crop. So yeah.
that's true. I was going to say something like now we need a movie where Steven Seagal is a Supreme Court justice. Above the law too.
Above the law too. Yeah.
Let's see. The complaints against Kavanaugh range from allegations that he had misled the Senate about some of his activities in the George W. Bush White House to his angry partisan statements in denying charges of sexual assault in high school. At his contentious confirmation hearings, Kavanaugh railed against Democrats, accusing them of engaging in a liberal conspiracy, a sort of payback for his one-time role as a prosecutor investigating President Bill Clinton. Quote, this whole 2-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump and the 2016 election, fear that has been unfairly stoked about my judicial record, revenge on behalf of the Clintons, and millions of dollars in money from outside left-wing opposition groups, Kavanaugh thundered. This is a circus. And as we all know, in the United States political system of the early 2000s, what goes around comes around. Yeah. Well, see, that's interesting to me. I keep going back to that because I'm like, well, he wasn't a Supreme Court justice when he committed these supposed violations.
Sure,
So
but he is now. So what's it matter?
I know. I just, I don't know. I'm not complaining per se. I just find it interesting. I hadn't heard that before. Speaking of which, when I was looking through my DVD collection the other day, I found something I bought years ago, like for like $3 or something. It's a documentary about the whole Clinton investigation thing. I think it's called like Hunting the President or something like that. It's narrated by Morgan Freeman, so you know it's like really official. And I've started watching again in bits because I'm curious to see if I see anybody in this documentary that's like many years old now. If I recognize anybody there who's a player today, and whether or not there's any comparisons to be made in more detail between what happened to Clinton and what's going on with Trump. Even though we're talking about two completely different sets of accusations, I'm just curious to see what happens with that. But anyway, just about right on time. That's all the stories I had. And we're at 78 likes and 172 people watching. It's 173. So guys, just get like, 22 more likes, at least, maybe 100. That'd be nice. Did you guys have any stories or anything?
Well, there was the Flynn thing today.
Oh, right. Okay. Do you have that in front of you? Or I can pull it up.
I don't. I can tell you all about it, though.
Go ahead.
Flynn was scheduled to be sentenced today. And he gets in front of the judge, and the judge tells him, no, we can't do that. We're not doing this. You need to wait. Because it's been rescheduled for March. I want to say 30th.
Okay.
In case he needs to cooperate with investigators more.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Hmm.
From all we know, I mean, he hasn't really helped anybody because everything that happened was with him and his phone call to that Russian guy. I forget his name.
Kislyak.
Kislyak. There you go.
Kislyak.
Something Russian.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. There was no informing of the president or anybody else within the campaign that he'd been talking to these people. So it was all a bunch of bullshit to begin with. So yeah, but the judge has said, you know, we need to wait and see if you can cooperate anymore. The judge also accidentally accused Flynn of treason.
Yeah, I heard that part. And I was like, really? Because I mean, the whole big news was that the Mueller team was saying that because of his extensive assistance and they were going to recommend no jail time. And this was the big thing, like, oh boy, well, what information did he give to get that kind of special treatment, etc. And now that kind of just went out the window. I mean, did they discover that he didn't do something else or he lied more?
No, from the sound of it, the judge just thinks, you know, in case there's more he needs to tell. Because what happens, let's say he goes in, gets his sentence, then his case is done.
Yeah.
Just done. So if the prosecutors need him again later, he can go, I don't have to fucking help you guys. So from the sounds of it, the judge is keeping that door open for the prosecutors, even though prosecutors aren't asking for that.
Well, if that is the case, should a judge even be doing that?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, I mean, if the prosecutors intentionally or otherwise are colluding with the judge to hold sentencing over the head of a potential witness, that seems a little off, even if Flynn is a scumbag in some fashion.
And it's also not right for a judge to come out and accuse a man of treason who's never even been. That's never even come up.
Yeah, this judge.
This judge is not a good judge.
No, he might be a few knives short in the drawer there. So, if I were Flynn's attorneys, I don't know. I mean, if you try to have the judge recuse himself or something else, you probably extend the proceedings out even further. So, that's kooky. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird.
So, okay. Well, anything else?
No, that was the only other one that I heard today that was a major story.
All right, Satsu.
Nothing from me.
All right. Well, everyone, then, if you have stories you would like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but that's because we have to wait until Monkey dies.
Wow.
That's the new Satsu set the standard. I can't
No.
avoid it.
No. Don't put that on me.
Who else am I going to put it on? You started it.
No, well, just because I started it, don't mean you gotta finish it. Monkey see, monkey do.
Okay, this isn't a story that popped up here, but it's the thing it's the little not Netflix, the Twitter promo thing that appears before I can actually search for a search term. Disney executive says there's a possibility to revive Marvel's axed Netflix shows. Stop teasing us. Okay, you canceled them. They're done. All right, don't be jerks. And Disney, take all the actors from those shows and give them their own shows on your streaming service. Just at least Daredevil. That one at least deserves at least one more season.
They so full of shit. They cancel them and they're like, "Hey guys, they might come back just over here on our exclusive Disney program."
Well, no. Netflix owns the rights to them for at least the next 2 years. So if Netflix, I guess, decides to drum up some kind of reboot or whatever, they could. I don't quite understand all the licensing, but I mean, if Disney at least brings them over or carries over the actors and the characters, I wouldn't mind. I'm still not sold on buying a whole new streaming service, but at the same time, do any of us really believe that anything that ends up on that streaming service isn't going to be available elsewhere at some point to watch? Nope. Because these things never go away. I mean, I can watch episodes of MASH right now if I really wanted to, So as long as it gets produced, I'm glad it'll be out there for me to watch at some point. So anyway, all that being said, this one comes from the original Shroom. Let's see. Gun Owners of America to file suit against arbitrary ATF bump stock ban. Okay. Springfield, Virginia. Gun Owners of America, GOA, and its foundation, GOF, GOA and GOF, will be filing suit against the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the Department of Justice to seek an injunction protecting gun owners from their illegal prohibition of bump stocks. Eric Pratt, executive director of Gun Owners of America, said, quote, as written, this case has important implications for gun owners since, in the coming days, an estimated 500,000 bump stock owners will have the difficult decision of either destroying or surrendering their valuable property or else risk felony prosecution. ATF's claim that it can rewrite congressional law cannot pass legal muster. Agencies are not free to rewrite laws under the guise of interpretation of a statute, especially where the law's meaning is clear. I thought this was a presidential order. Maybe I missed something.
It's been I heard presidential order, but I didn't read anything on it. So
yeah, I didn't think it was the ATF just like made a line item on this thing. I thought it came down from the top. But maybe I missed.
They said,
but well, it may be one of those. Oh, sorry. It may be one of those things where, like Obama would order one of his lower. Like Obama didn't change Title IX. That was done through the Department of Education. But it's Obama's rules. So.
We went over 100 likes. Thank you guys so much. Yay, 103. Yay, 100. Magic number. Let's see. This one comes from Ashley May. What's this? Several homes damaged as strong tornado touches down in Port Orchard. Where's Port Orchard? Port Orchard, Washington. Washington? Is Washington a place where there's tornadoes? Because I always think Midwest when I think tornadoes.
Tornadoes can happen anywhere.
Yeah, I guess. A strong tornado touched down in Port Orchard Tuesday afternoon, heavily damaging several homes and toppling trees. Some minor injuries have been reported, but no one has needed hospitalization, according to Poulsbo Fire. I don't know. That must be some kind of town name. Let's see. Port Orchard Police Department and several fire agencies have responded to a weather event that has caused catastrophic damage in the Port Orchard area, the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office said. Most of the damage is contained to the area and neighborhoods east and south of Walmart. I love how Walmart is sort of like a map coordinate location, you know? It's sort of like a... let's see. And then they've got some video of the, I guess, the damage. Yeah, tornadoes. I mean, rain and storm and stuff I've always associated with, Washington State, but tornadoes, not so much. But it doesn't. I don't see anything saying casualties. So some injuries. That's good. If that's the worst that happens.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so there you go. Let's see. Oh, Jay Brown says Poles bow. Poles bow. Okay. Or bow. Poles bow. All right. I don't know. I learn something new every day in trying to pronounce cities that I
don't even try. Just run with whatever you
try.
say.
I mean, I want to learn new things, from time to time. From time to time. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. Forever 21 put a great value M&M in a Wakanda Forever sweater.
What?
Oh, for fuck's sake. On December, okay. I'm going to send the link out so people can see what it is that I'm having to look at for this story because I actually can't describe it. On December 18th, 2018, in a now swiftly deleted tweet, Forever 21 thought it was a splendiferous idea to place a great value version of M&M in a Wakanda Forever sweater. So you've got you got a guy that's got like an M&M haircut, and he looks a little bit like Eminem, and he's got a ugly Wakanda Forever Christmas sweater on. This is news, apparently. Apparently it was offensive to people or something.
Well, yeah, you can't put some filthy ass cracker in a Wakanda forever.
Did you pay attention to the URL here? This is part of the route, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
okay.
I recognize the layout. It's part of the same family of sites as the Root and Splinter and Jezebel and etc.
No, it's actually the glow up dot the root. So
this is a subsidiary of the sort of like
of the root, yeah, like the really smart brothers or whatever.
Very smart brothers, the very smart brothers, or what was the other one? The Vine or something. There was like the Root and the Vine. Anyway, a Wakanda sweater. That's so cultural appropriation.
It's fucking hideous. First off.
This isn't a story so much. It's an ad, but it does relate back to a story we talked about. It's from Johnson & Johnson. And it says, "We know that Johnson's baby powder does not contain asbestos and never will. We test every single lot to ensure it. Learn more at FEDA. Never will." What's not about now that they're talking about. It's about before. I haven't seen Johnson & Johnson say it's never contained it. Just that it will or won't or it hasn't or can't or whatever. Anyway. Colleen Bernier sent us several. Let's see which one I want to pick out here. Let's do this one. This looks like a Florida man story. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Mom sees Instagram live video of minor performing sex act. 18-year-old Pasco man arrested. I picked poorly. Pasco County deputies arrested Dimitri Woolley, 18, for transmitting pornography by an electronic device after they say he broadcast 2 live videos and posted them of a 17-year-old victim performing oral sex. Deputies say the videos were then shown to the victim's mother, who contacted the sheriff's office. Okay.
I don't even know how to.
Yeah,
man, I ain't got the words, y'all.
Lock him up. Get that kid some therapy. I mean, 17. Yeah, okay, all the same. Ugh. Anyway, especially like, hey, mom, look at this. Let's see. This one comes from Froggy. Florida man charged with distributing bomb-making designs for Islamic extremists. Okay, a South Florida man who posted bomb-making instructions on the internet while expressing his support for Islamic extremism has been arrested on terrorism-related charges. Surprise, surprise. Taib Tahir Ismail, 34, of Pembroke Pines, used a mobile messaging platform, is it Twitter or Facebook, I wonder, to distribute information on making weapons of mass destruction at least 5 times over the summer, according to an FBI criminal affidavit. Quote, Ismail was a member of various rooms within the platform, and each of these rooms contained members who support violent jihad, the affidavit says. Among them, supporters of ISIS, a notorious Middle Eastern terrorist group known for videotaping the killings of Western hostages. No live explosives were linked to the bomb-making designs he distributed on the internet. Yet. that would be my addition to that sentence. Yet. Because once you've distributed them, they're kind of out there in perpetuity. And making a bomb doesn't really change over time. So. Let's see. That was Froggy. This one comes from... Let's see. Which one do I want to do here? We'll do this one. This comes from Frosted Glass. The cultural appropriation debate has changed, but is it for the better?
Oh, fuck.
Vox.com asked this question.
Oh, fuck Fox.
Fox.
Like I said, Vox, I don't say, oh, fuck that shit. In 2018, many of the celebrities accused of cultural theft were people of color. Oh my God. Uh-oh, here we go. What do Beyonce, Bruno Mars, Aquafina, and a Utah high school student have in common? They're all human. Am I right? No. In 2018, they all faced accusations of cultural appropriation, signaling how a term unfamiliar to most Americans even a decade ago has become pervasive today. Yes, it's funny that, isn't it? In fact, I'm sorry.
See, it's not even 5 years ago. Nobody heard this fucking word or term.
You know, the first time that I ever heard it, it was a Mr. It was an Internet Aristocrat video. It was one of the Tumblrisms. And it was there was baby metal. I remember at the end of the video there was baby metal. He showed a picture of that because of cultural appropriation or something. Yeah. I think that's what it was. And I was just like, and just like so many other people, I thought this is some crazy fringe, like what would be the equivalent of 3 a.m. right-wing radio talk shit. And then I heard it coming out of the mouths of people that I knew in real life, and I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, in fact, the debate over cultural appropriation, loosely defined as the taking of another culture's practices without consent.
Who do you get consent from?
Yeah, I had this argument. So my first real cultural appropriation argument was on Facebook, of course, of all things. And it was back when the argument over J.K. Rowling's using Native American folklore in her magic books about America, which I think have been that the basis for the movies that are out right now. And I was having an argument with somebody about this, and it was like they were saying that, well, she didn't do enough research to know what she was talking about. And I was like, okay, well, then let's think for a second. Let's pretend for a second that she did all the research you can imagine, all the research that you would consider to be appropriate. Okay, just imagine that for a second. Mm-hmm. And then imagine that the book ended up exactly the same. Would that make it okay? Was like, and they would like, well, that wouldn't be good enough. Like, of course not. The goalposts never stopped moving. And finally they say, well, she didn't have permission. And I was like, well, on whose authority should someone approach to use ideas from another culture? Right? What Romanian gypsy or something should Bram Stoker have gone to ask permission to write Dracula? I mean, or anything. Pick anything. Who possesses that authority? I am really curious to know.
It's so funny too, because their simple answer, because they're stupid and don't critically think, will be like, "Well, ask anybody because they all hate it." And it's like, this person says it's okay, and they're in. No, well, not them. They don't know what they're talking about. It's just okay. Well, their mom said it was okay too. She's Indian as fuck. Well, not her either. It's like, okay, so don't ask Indian people. No, just ask the ones that I approve. I need to make sure that they think like me first.
Let's see.
I need to give them permission to give you permission to use their culture.
That is just such without permission.
Without consent.
Or consent. Well, same thing.
I know. Just make sure I'm accurate. That's all.
Who do you ask? And like, if I wanted to get cornrows, is it okay for me to just ask Satsu, or do I have to get like a majority of black people in the country to say it's okay?
Well, let's see what Vox has to say about it. When Bruno Mars, who is Puerto Rican, Filipino, and Jewish, was accused in March of appropriating funk and soul music from African Americans, R&B legends such as Charlie Wilson came to his defense. So does that mean he had consent?
Well, technically.
The next month, a white teenager sparked an international debate about cultural appropriation after she shared a photo of herself in a Chinese dress called the kipao. The controversy prompted Refinery 29 writer, I don't even know what that is, Connie Wang, to pen an essay arguing that the dialogue about cultural appropriation had become radioactive. Thank you, Sanguine. Vox, I thought they were too busy trying to gain some traffic/relevance by plinking PewDiePie to try and do anything else. Minorities, select your ambassadors so we can file our requests. Jog on, wanker. Well, see, PewDiePie is the gateway drug to Vox, and then everything else you see after that, that's just cream cheese.
Don't worry about it, Sanguine. Their mouths are big enough for PewDiePie's dick and other people's too. There's a lot of room in there.
Let's see. The most vitriolic on the left suggests that any cultural swapping is tantamount to acts of visual racism, that using symbols without permission is always bad, and those that do it should be condemned without mercy, Wang wrote in May. The most sanctimonious on the right believe that cultural appropriation is a meaningless phrase that willfully ignores intent, that people should have the right to celebrate what they find beautiful without criticism or abuse, unquote. Okay, given this context, it wasn't altogether surprising last week when a Twitter user, I just want to reiterate this, Fox is basing this part of their story on a Twitter user. When a Twitter user last week complained that Beyonce didn't receive the same accusations of cultural appropriation when she wore Indian attire to an Indian wedding. Quote, can someone please explain to me what is the difference between a white person wearing this and being called out for cultural appropriation, and Beyonce, a black woman, doing the exact same and not being told anything, the user griped? Well, it's not an illegitimate question if you're going to be outraged about the concept.
Well, obviously, Beyonce asked every Indian person in the world, or she asked all of them first.
The tweet did not express concern over whether Beyonce really had appropriated Indian dress and the effect that it might have on the Indian community.
Which is nothing.
The real injustice, the writer suggested, was that Beyonce had gotten away with a misdeed for which white people are routinely criticized. But this argument overlooked the fact that the singer was an invited guest to an Indian wedding where the Indian dress was expected.
So did she still get all that? One person invited her, not the entire country.
Anyway, we'll move on because that story goes on for a long time.
This is one of those things we knew was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, because it's going to come around and bite you in the ass eventually. If you stay all sanctimonious about something, somebody that you would otherwise consider on your side, quote unquote, is going to do it. And then what do you do?
Yeah. And when this shit first came up, when I first learned about what cultural appropriation was supposed to be, growing up with all the shit that I was surrounded by, I'm like, oh, people been doing that shit like all the fucking time. That shit is so prominent in black culture. It's almost scary how prominent that is. It happens every day in all kinds of black media. And now this shit is all of a sudden getting brought up.
Well, it's part of the American foundation, the melting pot, the merging of different cultures in this place that would otherwise not have these things in other places that are far more culturally segregated. I said it last night. America is the puff daddy of culture. We sample everything and make it our own in some way. Taco Bell, for God's sakes. Taco Bell is the best Mexican restaurant in the country. And it's just like...
Which is amazing because these same people will say diversity is our strength. The coming together of people and the mixing of people is wonderful. Yeah. Just don't share any of their cultures.
or don't just like appreciate them, or don't buy something you have no idea it's actually reflective of some other culture. You just like the design. It's like, anyway. So what time we got? I'll do one more. Okay, so this one comes from senior staff reporter Jack the motherfucking Cockring. School rewound video during massacre delaying officers. Okay, I don't quite understand that, but let's find out. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The police response to the Florida high school massacre was delayed because school officials rewound a school surveillance video, making officers think the gunman was still in the building, a new report shows. Oh. The South Florida Sun-Sentinel reports documents show then Marjorie Stoneman Douglas assistant principal Jeff Morford and security officer Kelvin Greenleaf, that sounds like a name out of Skyrim, began viewing a live stream from inside the 3-story freshman building minutes after the February 14th shooting stopped. When they didn't see the gunman who killed 14 students and 3 staff members, they rewound the video until they found him and began relaying information to Broward Sheriff's Deputy Scott Peterson, who radioed officers who had charged into the building.
Wait a minute. Are you fucking serious?
At one point, officers were told suspect Nicholas Cruz was coming down the stairs when he had left the building nearly 30 minutes earlier, abandoning his AR-15 semi-automatic rifle. Officers told investigators that delayed their arrival on the third floor, where several students were dead and wounded. One deputy said one girl had a pulse when they found her, but she was dead by the time they got her outside. Quote, had we known the shooter wasn't there, we probably could have flooded that building a lot faster, knowing that we're just going to go in there and just start trying to recover victims and wounded people, Coral Springs Police SWAT officer George Schmidt told investigators. That is beyond idiotic. Real quick, thank you, Gulf City Cult of Krill. Calling Taco Bell Mexican food is fighting words. It was
best Mexican food in the U.S.
It was voted the best. I am not endorsing that verdict. I'm just saying that as far as the food going public is concerned, Taco Bell is the best Mexican food in the country. Thank you, Connor Johnson. Today is my birthday, my 21st birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Connor. Are you done with that story?
I don't know. Are you done with it? Because I feel like I'm really mad at these people.
I don't know what to. It's another one of those, like, what the fuck do you say to that?
Yeah.
You fucking let kids die, you cowardly shits.
You backed up a video and you relayed the information as though it were happening live. What the
I
fuck?
can't think of that as like the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard.
I mean, if you're saying like the guy is wearing these clothes, this is who you're looking for, but he's left the building, that'd be something. But instead you're relaying it like, oh, let's go back in time and pretend like it's happening right now. Fucking beyond the beyond. Anyway, we have a birthday.
Connor, thanks for changing the subject. Seriously, thank you, parents, for having sex leading to this day. Because
you call them right now.
Yeah, call them up. Say Monkey says good job. Fuck, man, Jesus Christ. let me relax a second.
Okay, fine.
You're gonna get an angry song.
Increase your calm, John Spartan.
Hey, Scribe.
Yes.
I'm going to screen something rather offensive, or screen share something rather offensive.
Is it like I'm going to get in trouble kind of offensive?
You should get in trouble, but you probably won't.
I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that. Whatever you're doing, I don't want you to do it.
No, it's not dirty. What the?
You see the caption?
Only eat gluten-free.
Hipster Hulk.
No.
No. This is so wrong.
Okay, that's enough. We have a birthday to do. Stop it.
Connor, I understand it's your birthday. I understand you're in the chat, and this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Hulk would smash, but bad for environment.
Happy birthday to you.
Does Hulk's ponytail look nice?
Happy birthday, dear Connor. Seriously, thank you, parents.
Hulk controlling his toxic masculinity.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Connor. I hope you had a good one.
Thank you again, Gulf City Cult of Krill. I will accept Taco Bell is Americanized Mex food. Yeah, you're right. And that's what I mean. It's like it's cultural appropriation.
Best Mexican food on the planet.
Yeah, well, I know some actual Mexicans who would vehemently disagree. But anyway.
What do they know? Look at their country. It's a shithole.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for all the stories. As usual, you guys are quite literally half of our show with your contributions, so that's part of it. But now we go on to the wonderful world of YouTube time. Also, for those of you who are on the Twitter machine, I'm about to retweet something else because Grizella has posted an inked version of our friend Satsu.
This is StatPat. And I have it on the screen if you want to share it. Yeah.
Okay, StatPat.
This is SatPat, the other version, because what are the two versions of Goku?
Patsu and SatPat.
Yeah, Patsu and Sat Pat, because there was a what is it, Gogeta and Vegito? Those were
Yes.
the two. And then the show in Dragon Ball Z or whatever during the fusions, they have one that favors one person and one that favors the other, depending on the conditions or whatever. So I was like, there's a Sat Pat or Patsu, so there needs to be a Sat Pat. So
And there
he
you
threw
go.
this together real quick. And of course he's gaming because that's literally all I do. That's fucking awesome.
But that aside, Satsu, what have you been up to
Yes.
in the YouTube realm of things?
Would you be able to guess that it was gaming related?
Yeah.
Seems like your helmet's not working. No, but yes.
No, but yes.
I did a video because the video that I was going to upload initially, as soon as I got ready to upload that one, they did a new update for Alpha 17, which we have been playing quite a bit, that finally fixed the leveling system, or at least the character customization system within the game that allows you to do the thing that they promised you were going to be able to do in the first place, but couldn't. And that's really like fine tune your character and make them be exactly what you want them to be as far as skills go. Because they promised that at first, but the system that they had did not enable it because you were barred by level. But now you're able to do so. So there's more details for that for anybody who's been having some issues with the leveling system, or just been playing it in general. And if you're interested in that, then go check that out. But yeah, that was my day. And we had to reset the server, unfortunately, for tomorrow's stream because of these new updates and how dramatically different they are. They change very significant things in the game. So we definitely would have had to reset. So sorry about that, anybody who wanted to continue, but we weren't that far along anyway.
Okay. Monkey.
I did a monkey in the morning. That's all I did.
Who joined you, Monkey?
Oh, who was on this morning? Dax was there, of course, and then P Dog was on. Weebo was on for a little bit. The old redneck, Bloodwing. I feel like there was someone else. Fuck, I can't remember. You know how long ago that was?
Why are you bringing up bullshit?
That was like 12 hours ago.
Oh, I apologize. I'll try not to ask you questions that have a shelf life of longer than 12 hours from now on.
Hey, you're glad. You're glad. You're lucky I got that many.
Yeah,
I swear there was somebody else, but I can't remember who.
I am glad I got that many.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are.
Moonshock, yeah, I was talking about 7 days, and if you have Alpha 17, if you're playing the experimental build of Alpha 17 right now, then it should have auto-updated for you.
Yep.
So you should be fine. But if you're playing 16, then none of this applies.
Let's see. I wasn't able to get much of anything done today, at least for the most part. I did start.
Jack, that's who it was. I'm so sorry.
Uh,
Jack Cochran joined us. I have a blurting problem. I'm seeking help.
May I continue?
I believe so.
This is Kyle says, Scribe, did you know that your avatar is in Minecraft? Well, this avatar better not be in Minecraft because it's a special custom deal done for me. I suppose the painting on which it's based, some part of it might be in Minecraft, but this actual avatar is unique. But I'm glad, I'm happy to see somebody take a screenshot of whatever this is so I can take a look because I'm curious. So I found a couple of videos today that caught my attention. I want to read an excerpt. I actually transcribed this thing because it was so, well, you'll see. So imagine, if you will, a panel discussion where you have the chief marketing officers and thereabouts from Smirnoff, eBay, and Salesforce if you know what Salesforce is. It's a client business sort of management software deal.
There you go. Okay, yeah, I have heard of it. Okay.
So these three people are up on the stage, and their moderator is the chief marketing and communications officer from something called Quantcast. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Maybe other people do. But this was his opening statement today, as they prepared to talk about their subject of interest, the four of them. Quote, "The reality is over half of millennials are diverse, are people of color, led by Hispanics. But the reality is today, in 2018, over 18% of the US population is Hispanic, 13% African American, 5% Asian, and obviously, women are over half of that population. And I just look out into this crowd of awesome CMOs, and this definitely does not look like America today," unquote. And I listened, I was like, so your audience is not of the appropriate race for your liking and or gender. That was the opening of this discussion. The guy would then go on to the first speaker, the guy from Smirnoff, and he'd say something effective. So, hey, Jay, let's talk about your story first, because, you know, you check off a lot of those boxes. And I was like, are you shitting me? It was just so like, really? Have we reached the point now where there's not even any point in even couching your language about it?
Nope.
I was amazed. I was like, this guy's right. There's a video I did a long time ago with an executive from Accenture, the company Accenture, and he was giving a presentation before an audience. I believe they were in Germany or some Germanic country or something, because he kept saying things that indicated that they weren't in America. And I think he was speaking as plainly as he was because he didn't want to have anybody confused with sort of like, you know, sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Euphemisms or anything like that. And so he was very plain about what diversity actually meant and what their programs were. It was the most blunt and frank description of what an actual corporate diversity initiative really means I'd ever heard before. And it's sort of like, that's sort of my gold standard when I want to like put up against anybody else's diversity presentation, as are they more leaning towards or away from this guy's plain speakingness. This guy here came about as close as you can get so far as I've watched. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. It's like an hour long of that first guy. And that was just the opening. That was like the first 3 minutes. I was just like, what the fuck? So I'm looking at that. It is a very long panel discussion. If I'm going to do anything with it, it's going to be like excerpting different bits. But I have to watch the whole thing first and pull out the parts that are really interesting to me. So that'll definitely be in there if I do a video on it. And that is as much as I was able to get done today, so to speak, because work and other things sort of clogged my schedule. So that was that. What else? I think that's all I had for YouTube time. Do you guys have any internet fucketry? I know there's few things floating out there today, aside from the Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson thing. But Satsu, did you see anything exciting out there?
I seen that Backpack Kid is now joining the fray of all of the new Super Smash Brother rosters of people that are suing Epic Games.
Backpack Kid?
Yeah. The kid that does that stupid ass dance where I can't even explain it. It's a dance in Fortnite. And apparently his mom did it.
Oh.
Because I'm guessing she's just like, you know, this is your only accomplishment, you little bastard. I'm going to benefit from you somehow. And she's trying to get some money from that dance that he did that one time. That isn't his, by the way. We have an issue of that again.
Yeah. Did you watch DeFranco today?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually shows where the dance came from that the kid stole.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is getting out of hand. And then I had a head scratching moment because I'm like, wait a minute, this whole controversy drummed up specifically because they were claiming that Epic Games is exclusively stealing from black people and just taking things from black people, stealing their culture and profiting from it. What the hell? Where the hell does little white boy come from? So that threw me for a loop. And I was reading the comments, and they were hilarious as usual. The narrative kind of tone was completely different because, you know, when it was the other people, they're like, you know, good, you know, this time for black people to get what they're due. And then when this one cropped up, they're like, this little white boy is out of his mind. And I'm just like, oh, that's a nice little shift. One thing I will mention though that I would find interesting. This is fucketry, but on a completely different level. Have you guys ever read the comment section of cooking videos?
Not on a regular basis, no.
Sorry,
Okay,
no, I haven't.
Okay, well, if I'm ever on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and I see those, like, you know, like I think it's like the BuzzFeed ones. They got the ones from like that channel called Tasty or whatever, and then the one called Twisted. There's a whole bunch of different ones where they do these little cooking things, and they're usually like really short clips of recipes that somebody just like threw together, and they're usually pretty original or like twist on different other recipes or whatever. They're interesting, but the comment sections are like fucking battlefields. I've never seen something so mundane be so goddamn controversial. Like, people be literally upset, like mad as fuck about these recipes, and they'll like throw in their shit like, thanks for ruining this. If I would have did it, I would have put this stuff in there. Or they're like, fuck this recipe, you put mushrooms in there and I'm allergic to that. And it's like, you do realize that you don't have to do all the stuff that they did in this video, right? It's fascinating because out of all the things that I see people fighting over, you know, it's all this political stuff, and it amazes me how aggressive the comment section of cooking videos are. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Is it someone's birthday again, or am I missing something?
Random American.
What?
So Stargazer says, happy birthday, Random American. I scroll up, Random American tagged our names, but I don't see.
He says, if you want to talk about real fucketry, it's also my birthday.
Where's do I have top chat?
Are you on live chat?
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm not on live chat. My bad. Sorry, guys.
Well, Random, it seems to be your birthday.
Go, Shorty.
It's your birthday. I'm zoning out. Oh man. Random.
Monkey has malfunctioned.
Yeah, medicine kicking in. I'm so sorry about that. Random, it is your birthday. Your parents did it 9 months ago. Think about that while I sing you this song. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday, dear.
Happy birthday, Quartermaster.
Happy birthday, dear you.
May your birthday be as organized as the boxes on 7 Days to Die.
Happy birthday, dear Quartermaster Random American.
What he said.
What he said.
Happy birthday to you. And I'm always happy people are born, but I'm really happy you're born because you're the only person I know in 7 Days to Die who's as anal about organizing boxes as I am, and I appreciate you. I hope you had a wonderful day. Happy birthday, bud.
Monkey likes anal boxes.
I like anal boxes.
There's your ringtone for the month, guys. Okay. So, Monkey, do you have any... well, I guess I should mention did you see the David Sharat thing and the whole YouTube alt-right vortex or whatever?
Well, which part of it?
So let me find it here real quick. It was just here a little bit ago. Where'd it go? That's that much time actually passed. So Spinosaurus Ken was apparently interviewed for a story, and where is it? It was right here. There it is. Here's a quote from the Daily Beast. For David Sherratt, like so many teenagers, far-right radicalization began with video game tutorials on YouTube.
What?
He was 15 years old and loosely liberal, mostly interested in Call of Duty clips. Then YouTube's recommendations led him elsewhere.
Is this the story about when he was a MGTOW?
I only know bits and pieces of this. I've seen the headlines of, like, you know, the YouTube alt-right machine or whatever. And I was like, oh, poor Spinosaurus Ken led astray by Call of Duty clips. I was just like,
wow. No, I remember there was that, I forget who made the article, but there was an article about him when he was 18 that told all about how he became a MGTOW.
oh my God.
Which is another way of saying he couldn't get laid at 18.
A girl wouldn't talk to me, so I took a stand on my own balls. Oh, sorry.
The stuff I've seen about him recently is everybody laughing at the fact that he put out a tweet about how he's glad that he never takes money from anybody or something to that effect. How he's not part of Patreon and he doesn't get tips or anything because he wouldn't want to make his money that way. Like, motherfucker, you raised $10,000. You dirty bitch. Oh God. Anyway, I hadn't seen that stuff going around about him.
Yeah, that's all I guess I had because it was all over the place. So did you see anything exciting today?
Exciting, no. Annoying, yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Timothy Poole.
Tim Poole.
If you do not stop using the fucking phrase hate speech, I'm going to have a stroke. I'm going to have a heart stroke every fucking time I read this from you. So today he's starting out. He shares a private conversation he had with Jack Cunt, whatever his name is.
Oh, Joe from Patreon.
Yes, from Patreon. And
okay. I saw that. That's right. I saw that.
Yeah, and it's an interesting little thing, which is weird because he seems to go back, Jack Conti, on what he had said when he was on Rubin. So maybe they've changed the rules. I don't fucking know. But in the follow-up tweet, Timothy says, I don't agree with Sargon's language. I personally detest hate speech and encourage others to be more respectful. You know, if he said, I personally detest racial slurs, okay, no problem with that.
Sure.
Colorful, anything other than fucking hate speech. You hear my voice right now? This is fucking hate speech because I hate what you fucking wrote, you moron. Stop it. Hate speech isn't a thing. It's just fucking words. And you can't sit there and say that when one guy drops an N-bomb, it's hate speech. But if another guy does it and has the right color of skin, it's not hate speech anymore. Either the fucking word is hate speech or it's not. Well, it's not because it's not a fucking thing. I'm done.
Okay. Let's see. Well, we almost have a little bit of time to talk deep topic stuff. Kind of.
Deep topic, you say?
Yeah.
I have a kind of weird deep topic.
Oh, really? You have a weird deep topic? Is it about anal boxes?
No.
Oh, okay.
About a pedophile teacher.
Another one.
Yes, another one.
Okay, go for it. Tell me all about your pedophile. Is it a she?
Of course it's a she.
Is she at least good looking?
She's okay.
Okay. Well,
and she's like a 5.5, maybe a 6 if you're drunk. So this 27-year-old woman has been busted banging a 13-year-old boy. And as we were reading the article this morning, it comes up she's married. Now, as a man, I need y'all to put yourselves in the place of her husband.
I don't want to do that.
Hang on. Bear with me here. Would you be more emasculated by your wife banging a 13-year-old or your wife becoming a lesbian?
Oh.
You asked me.
There's no answer to that question.
That's what I was about to say. That's why I'm like, you know what?
The question is, would you feel more emasculated? It's like, how quickly are you going to file divorce paperwork?
Well, here, chat. Would you be more emasculated by your wife banging a 13-year-old or a lesbian? 1 for 13-year-old, 2 for lesbian. I'm saying 13-year-old. If my wife left me for a boy, I think I would jump off a bridge. Look, if she's a lesbian, you know, that's a sexual orientation. Okay, she didn't realize she likes to lick the puss. That's okay. But if she's banging a little kid, I mean, that's her saying his dick's manlier than yours.
Okay, but couldn't she, okay. So setting aside the fact that one is a crime and the other one isn't.
Sure.
And one is conceivably more divorceable than the other. Couldn't you save your masculinity, or at least your sense of it? And I'm just sort of hypotheticaling here. By saying she's mentally fucking ill.
Well, sure, but I mean, you can tell yourself that, but there's that nagging. Random says 3. Neither would happen. That's how manly I am. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because this story's horrible. I mean, it's a fucking 27-year-old woman banging a 13-year-old boy. She's a teacher. Oh, by the way, she told the mom that she would quit teaching, in an attempt to keep her from going to the authorities.
I promise I'll stop teaching. Just don't tell anybody that I was done.
Oh God! Oh, he also sent her nude pics, so she's got some child porn going on in her.
No.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'll stop teaching. Not gonna stop fucking your son.
Yeah, right. But as we were, I just thought, what about that poor husband, man? That's got to be quite the kick to the nuts,
dude. At this point, every day, I feel like we need to get the hashtag teach women not to rape kids.
I know, right?
This ain't being talked about. Because I'm hearing a lot more about this than campus rape. That's for damn sure. And that's an epidemic. So this has to be like, what's above an epidemic?
Pandemic? Is that bigger?
Let's see. Terry DeMontis says, Scribe, I tried to super chat, but it lagged out. Pretend I gave you money. It is so pretended. Thank you, Terry DeMontis.
Yeah, it's just that's the only deep thought I had today, and that's how my brain works, y'all. Welcome to my world.
Jesus Christ.
Look, if you don't have a topic and you leave it up to me,
well,
that's what you get.
What was I just about to say? I had something for a deep topic, but then you wanted to do teacher porn.
That was only 3 minutes. We got time.
I know it escaped my mind because I thought you had something more interesting.
I felt that was very interesting. Press 1 in the chat if that was interesting. 2 if it wasn't.
I need to get some Post-its.
You do. You know what? I got some you could borrow.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have any pink ones left because Little Butt took them all.
You took all the pink ones.
You need to get monkey Post-its.
My Post-its came in yellow, orange, and pink, and they were one big stack. Mm-hmm. And she took out all the pink ones.
Okay. How about we just fill up the last few minutes with an advice column?
Sure.
We haven't done one of those in a while, and I get mixed responses on these. But sorry. Let me back up a little bit. There was something I wanted to say back at YouTube time. I forgot to.
Oh, what's that?
I've been getting a lot of really interesting feedback from people, and I'm pretty sure most of them aren't actually viewers of this show, but on my true crime Chris Watts sort of stream. I was talking about the murders in Colorado and all that. And I'm thinking maybe I'll do something like that again in the near future, like a different crime thing or a different true crime situation. Not gonna necessarily make it a regular deal or a scheduled kind of deal, but I got such a great response from it. I'm thinking of maybe digging up something I'm a bit more familiar with than something that just happened, like maybe something a bit more historical, let's say. But just want to throw that out there. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Excuse me. Can we just put pedos on an Escape from New York prison? I'd rather have them on a No Escape prison, if you know what that is, the Ray Liotta movie. No Escape. I think it was No Escape. Pretty sure. But yeah, there was a joke way back when that you should take all the child molesters, all the terrorists, everything else that we've captured, dump them onto some deserted island, airdrop in a bunch of Jack Daniels and meth, and then just film the whole thing and sell it as a pay-per-view thing and send all the proceeds back to the families of victims.
I'm down with that. If we can also ship the extreme left and right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Satsu's a barbarian. So I saw the title of this advice column. I thought, is this Incel City? But I don't know. Dear Lords of the Night, why am I still single? I'm good on paper, so what am I doing wrong? Let me start off by explaining that I'm not a woman with outrageous expectations. This is a woman. Uh-oh. But the thought that I'll never find a man to be happy with is so frustrating, I've resorted to casual sexual encounters.
Jeez.
That's amazing. Okay.
I can't find a man, so I'm gonna be a hoe.
And it's not like I'm high maintenance, nor am I a neurotic clinger who expects to meet Mr. Right at a bar or club. So how do I make it happen? My last relationship ended 2 years ago and left me heartbroken. But I'm holding my head high, not that high, if you're having random sexual encounters, and have not looked back because you don't want to see the guy behind you. No. I don't want to sound conceited, but I'm kind, generous, low-key, and I have a good heart.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to get a picture here of what might be wrong.
Clingy.
Wait. I excel at my job, and I'm pretty, so I just don't get it. When I do manage to meet someone, we have dinner, then nothing. Somehow they fall off the face of the planet. I don't sleep with them that night. I'm not the dumb girl wondering why they don't call. But now the dates are becoming fewer and fewer. I've had just one in the past 7 months. Signed, Where the Boys Aren't. So what is the advice from the learned and wise Lords of the Night to this poor woman?
Either you need to take a bath. Joseph Wilson just said, "Do you smell?" And yeah, either you stink, or you don't know yourself as well as you think you do. You need to find somebody who is willing to come talk to me. Not in a date situation, just you and me talk. We'll talk for half an hour, and I will tell you what's wrong with you. I'm betting you're clingy as fuck and you're annoying. I bet you're annoying as shit.
Well, judging from her very high view of herself, not to say that you should have a low view of yourself, but from her credentials that she laid out, she seems like the type of person who thinks that she's too good for certain other people. You know what I mean? Like the way she explained herself, she's like, I'm a catch. Like, why am I still single? So I would imagine she's one of those people who looks at other people and is like, yeah, not in a million years. Which means that the people she's picking are too good for her. Usually, probably is the case. And because she's reaching a lot higher than she probably should be. And they're probably just like, I just wanted some ass.
Or she's got the personality of a dead gnat. I mean,
That could be.
I've dated some very, very pretty girls before that I had absolutely no attraction to outside of just maybe the basic sort of physical stuff because they weren't interesting, And I've had some amazing relationships with women that probably aren't classic beauties, but they had the attitude and the personality that just knock you over from across the room. It really is a matter of what are you looking for? And how do you comport yourself? I mean, you might think you're all that in a bag of chips, but then you sit down with somebody and there's nothing there because it's all in your head, or you expect them to do all the work or something because you're just so perfect. It's like, well, I'm such a catch. You should just be fawning all over me. Why aren't you? You're not. So what's wrong with you? Thank you, Gulf City Cult of Krill. Hillary asked why she wasn't 50 points ahead. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, why not 50 points ahead? Yeah, if you're blind to something, there's some the problem is probably you somehow, and there's not enough information in that little thing to really form a better opinion about it. But
well, there's hints there. I mean, she does have a very high opinion of herself. There was nothing in there negative.
Yeah, that's true.
And nothing even
one flaw.
Yeah,
at all.
Right.
There has to be some self-deprecation because
she's beautiful, smart, works real hard at a good job. I mean, everything she does everything perfect. You know what do you know who Maureen Dowd is?
Wasn't she James Carville's wife?
No, she's a
That
columnist for the
yes, I know who you're talking about. I got my names mixed up. I apologize.
She wrote a column once about how intimidated men are by smart women.
Yeah.
Because she can't keep a date. Like, you can't keep a date because you're an annoying twat. No, that's what I was getting the vibe from this chick. I am so perfect. Why don't they love me?
Yeah, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance, and it's a really bad situation when the person who has it can't tell the difference. Thank you, Diesel Dave. She's probably a fatty. Well, she says she's pretty, so I'll take her at her word.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. Not to say that you can't have someone who's larger and they're pretty. It all, eye of the beholder kind of stuff, but all the same.
We ain't about to be dissing the squishies, are we?
No, nothing like that. But yeah, in her own mind, she's a Mary Sue. She can do no wrong. So why are all the men not paying attention to her? Everybody else is flawed. Why aren't they seeing how awesome I am?
Yeah, and bitch, you can't get a second call or a call after that first date. Come on, it's something with you.
And if she's resorted to casual sex and these dudes ain't coming back, the vagina might not be that great either.
Do you think she tells guys that on the first date?
What?
I have trouble meeting men, so I've just been fucking around.
Well, maybe not that, but if she says something like, "Oh, it's so hard finding someone,"
Yeah.
if you make that even sidewise a part of the conversation at a date, you're already got to turn it off. It's like, God, how many people has she gone through to get to me?
Yeah.
Or what do they know that I'm not seeing right now? What warning signs do I need to look for now that so many men before me have already gone through the minefield for? Well, anyway, guys, we're at the bottom of the hour, so now it's chat time. If you guys have questions, comments, conspiracy theories, complaints, if you would have advice for our pretty princess, or anything else you'd like to talk about, please put plenty of chat marks behind your question so we know that's for us. And for those of you who are new to this show, chat marks is our term for question marks because Satsu doesn't know what he's saying half the time.
Most of the time, correction.
Oh, pardon, most of the time. Let's see. Now, you guys are doing your 7 days tomorrow, open server, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And also, guys, remember, and I'll remind at the end of the show, tomorrow night, per usual, will be on Monkey's channel, the regular time. Let's see, anything else going on? Nothing comes to my mind. Pyrus Creed, did you hear that Jack Dorsey had a witch make him an amulet out of his beard hair? I hadn't heard that, but of course, I don't really follow Jack Dorsey's movements religiously. Had you guys heard about Jack Dorsey getting a magic beard pendant?
I saw the headline. I didn't read the story.
Who's Jack Dorsey?
He runs Twitters.
Yeah, it's that Jack.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
Sora Luna says, Satsu, did you turn off friendly fire on the open server?
I believe Monkey did. So
Yep.
no more flare shenanigans, or at least flare shenanigans of that nature.
Okay. James Colley says, if that was said to me, I assume like it's really hard to find a man. I'd be like, so I'm a backup plan. Yeah. Right. I'm like your lowest choice because nobody else before me made the cut or something.
Doesn't that also give off the vibe of I need a man now? Let's get married tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it. It's like so hard to find it. It's like what is your end result? Your end result is just to find a man. You're not looking for me. You're looking for a man. So anybody will fit the bill that you choose is the best, I guess. So why even have a conversation? You know, it's like. Let's see. Cracked says advice: shut up, listen. Yeah, well, sometimes. Harvest Marvo, Scribe, a little confused. I think you guys talked about them wanting to turn Santa into a woman, but what about CNN promoting a children's book where Santa is gay with a black boyfriend? What?
Oh yeah.
What?
I must have missed us talking about turning Santa into a woman.
Well, no, it was turning Santa gender neutral.
Well, there's several. Yeah, I think that was the night you were gone. We talked about it.
Okay, that would be.
There's a push. Yeah, there's a push to turn Santa either female or gender fluid. Or gender neutral was the other one. Yeah,
with a beard.
Did not see the Santa's gay.
You can see. Yeah, there's a picture of it. There's an actual kid's book of Santa Claus with his gay black boyfriend.
Well, there is. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because I remember this. There is a addition to the Santa Claus folklore. I believe it's in Mexico, and Santa Claus has a helper called Black Peter. And I don't know if Black Peter's actually black or that's just like his name or something. And he actually helps Santa like drop off gifts and things. It's part of I believe either Mexican or some South American culture kind of thing. So maybe that's what the reference is. Now, I don't think they're gay in the folklore, but anyway.
Still, Santa's not gay. He's married, and
yeah.
Stop fucking with Santa Claus.
Motto Winter says, Lords of the Night, what is your opinions on Hallmark Christmas movies? Good Christ, they pump out so many Christmas movies. When I was visiting my folks with the satellite dish thing on, and I saw an ad for like, this holiday season, join Hallmark for its 18-movie marathon of Christmas movies for the family. I'm like, 18 movies! And they're all like these cheesy, sort of really sappy, heartwarming, the guy comes home to his old town and finds his old flame kind of thing. And these really, really cheap-looking family Christmas movies. And like Hallmark pumps those suckers out. They make so many movies a year, and they're all very low budget, sort of mild romance story deals.
They're garbage.
But I admire their productivity, but they're garbage.
I mean, these are basically old movies of the week kind of things. You can sit down and watch them. They're family friendly, and they always have some sappy love story. First the they can't get together with the person they really want to be with, and then they do at the end. It's silly. It's Hallmark.
Background noise is all it is.
In relation to the last thing we were talking about when it comes to like diversity or whatever, I don't think I would have an issue with the I actually don't have an issue with the overall narrative of diversity if the conversation ever started like about creating something new or bringing new things out there. Like every time I hear a conversation about diversity, and this was another thing that I saw on Facebook that I was talking about that I just kind of overlooked. But it's never about nothing new. It's always taking something that already exists and replacing it. And it's fucking annoying to me.
Let's see. Prospero 50 says Black Peter is Dutch. Scribe like Dutch? Huh. I could have sworn. Okay, well, this is me getting my information from movies, which is always a bad idea. In the movie Collateral, when Jamie Foxx is meeting with the the character's played by Javier Bardem, and I think he's playing a Mexican like gangster guy or something. And he talked about Black Peter, and I thought he was talking about folklore. I don't know if maybe the writers got it mixed up or something else, but anyway, that's beside the point. Let's see. Cynical Lindsay says, "What is your favorite holiday treat?" Dr. Pepper and Jack Daniels.
How, like Christmas? I'm assuming.
Sure.
I can't eat it anymore, but peanut brittle.
No.
I used to love peanut brittle.
Satsu.
Well, now that you mentioned peanut brittle, I actually do like that. But I don't know if it's really a holiday thing, but I only ever eat it on the holidays, and that's like chocolate covered pretzels. Like that's been the chocolate, the pretzel sticks, and they just put like chocolate on the tip and put like little candies on it or whatever. Like I don't know why that's been specifically a holiday thing for me, but the only time I ever eat that is during the holidays, and I like it. Even though I could probably eat it anytime I want.
Skeptalk says, "Will Trump pardon Flynn?" Probably not.
No.
Trump has distanced himself so much from Flynn. And Flynn, I mean, unless something changes, Flynn's probably not going to get much, if any, actual jail time. So, no. Probably not. I'd say the chances are pretty slim. Jordan 250, how emasculated would Santa be if Mrs. Claus slept with one of the elves? Ranting Monkey. I've seen depictions of Santa and Mrs. Claus in a big bed full of elves before, just like them, sort of, one of those innocent sort of like everybody's got a big bed kind of thing. So it's happened.
I think he'd be fine if it wasn't Hermie.
Or Hermie. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Frosted Glass says, so girls need a role model so they can grow up to be Santa? Yes.
Yes.
Or Mrs. Santa. Quinn the Angry, Lords of the Night, do you believe in Krampus? What, Krampus from Kansas? Yes. I mean, the actual Krampus? No.
I don't even know the story behind Krampus.
He's basically like if Santa is Jesus, then Krampus is the devil.
Yeah. Toasted Networks, Scribe Light, it is my birthday today. Can Satsu sing the birthday song and Monkey and you react to it?
Fuck no.
Whose birthday?
Toasted Network.
Is it really your birthday, or are you just fucking around with me?
Yeah, I don't know. The boy who cried wolf.
I've given my answer.
Yeah, well, it's your turn to sing, Satsu.
Not happening.
But it's a special birthday wish. It's a special birthday wish.
It's your channel.
Oh, is it now?
It is your responsibility to sing to your viewers.
Well, Monkey.
Yes. Oh, he says it is. Okay. All right, Toasted. It's your birthday. Satsu always does our accompaniments, so that's how we'll do it again this time.
I'm good at, man. That's the job.
It's what you do. Yeah. Except for when you forget or you mute yourself. I mean,
that don't count.
Scribe sitting here like, okay. Anyway, Toasted. This one's for you. And a 1 and 2. Happy birthday to you.
Why is your network toasted?
Happy birthday to you.
What did you do to it?
Happy birthday, dear Toasted Network.
You should take better care of it.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Toasted Network.
That's the end of the song. I'm sorry. Fuck, I was waiting for Satsu to chime in. Happy birthday, Toasted. I hope you had a great one. Really do.
December 8th.
Go ahead.
No, I was just Taking a mental note.
A what?
A mental note.
Okay. Peter says, have we done our Christmas shopping yet, or do you leave until last minute like most of us tend to do? I have all my Christmas shopping done. I already had my Christmas with my family over the weekend, and everybody that I truly, truly care about has already received their Christmas gifts. So I'm done.
Oh, damn.
I know, right?
Wow.
That's right, Satsu. I don't give shit.
I think we're done. We do a lot of our shopping throughout the year. And then we have like a last minute push in December to get, everything finalized. But yeah, we're pretty much done. Mostly done.
Don't worry, Scribe. It's okay. I don't have feelings.
I know. You're numb after so much squishy time.
I'm not sad that Monkey got a gift.
She wore the feelings right off his Johnson.
I'll tell you what. Once you have a cute little mini Satsu running around,
Coat them walls.
Then I'll feel compelled to send a gift. Let's see. Random American says, how many people in the chat who have birthdays in December are sick and tired of birthday/Christmas being written on your gifts? Yeah, that does seem like a double.
That's a dick move.
Ebony Williams says, hey, Scribe, can you give me motivation to stop eating fast food? Not dying of a heart attack before you're 50.
Tess Holiday.
There's that too. Stop eating fast food. It's cheaper and better for you to go buy fresh stuff at the store and make your own.
If you die, you can't watch Lords of the Night.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
Angela Arriaga says, Scribe Light, please don't die. Well, sorry, Angela. I am going to die.
I'm not.
Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But eventually, I will.
I'm gonna live forever.
Duck Dog says, Scribe Light, thanks for reminding me that I have a family Christmas Sunday. Oh, a family Christmas Sunday. Okay, you're welcome. I'm sorry that I had to be the one to remind you of your family schedule. That's a sad statement there. Let's see. Random American says, are you saying they don't have Lords of the Night in heaven? No, they don't, but someday they will. All three of us will be up there bitching about how our clouds aren't big enough.
I'm going down, y'all.
Diesel Dave says, my birthday is on Saturday and I'm getting fucked up. Well, good for you. If you're here on Friday, because I assume you're not going to be here on the show, on Saturday, because you'll be out and running, remind us and we can sing your birthday then. Let's see. Toastin or Scribe Light, fuck Satsu. I gave you lots of donations and you couldn't sing me a fucking song.
My bad.
Okay, then.
Wow. That's how we do things, man.
Okay, the Celtic Mandalore says, you all see the Borderlands 3 character leaks. No, but then I haven't actually ever played Borderlands, any of them. I know a lot of people like them. I could never get into it for whatever reason. I never really played it. I watch friends play it. It never really called to me, let's say. You ever play it, Monkey?
I have not.
Yeah. Saint Fugi says, is it question time? Question mark. No.
Not for you.
Toasted says, tell Satsu I'm very sorry. You have a quick turnaround in your moods.
Dude, I don't have feelings. It is very difficult to offend me.
Angela says, I was aiming for you not choking to death while singing Happy Birthday, especially since I haven't heard you sing Rainbow Connection. Yeah. I don't know what it was about my choice for that birthday song, but whatever it was the pitch or something was like straining my throat. So hopefully that doesn't happen too often. Let's see. James Colley says, I quit eating fast food, made all my snacks under 350 calories, and started drinking 0-calorie sodas. I've lost 27 pounds in 7 weeks. Well, geez, good for you. Yeah, it really is just a matter of saying, okay, I'm the most responsible person for what goes into my body and how my body manages what I put into it. So just put different things into your body. And I don't necessarily mean that in a dirty way, but that too. And exercise, move around more, walk, set up a routine. Just seriously, set a timer for 6 minutes every afternoon. Just 6 minutes, and just jog in place in front of the TV watching something, or do some sit-ups or whatever for 6 minutes. Just do 6 minutes of intensive something once a day, and just make a few changes in your habits. You will see a difference over time, and your stamina will increase over time, and you'll be able to do more than 6 minutes. I do about 15, 20 minutes a day of just your basics. I do sit-ups and some hand weight stuff and some jogging in place kind of deal and some mountain climber things while I'm just throwing a DVD and just kill a few minutes. And I do that every afternoon when I get home from work. And I'm not going to be Mr. Universe or nothing, but I definitely feel and look different now than I did 3 months ago. So, of course, I'm not really watching the pounds either. I don't have a scale that I'm looking at every day. So I'm sure I've lost some weight. Pissed off shit just says, Scribe, so what are you going to do on Christmas Day? I will get up and not be at work. That's about it, probably. My sister mentioned that she might be doing something. I don't know. I depends on the circumstances. I haven't heard yet. Maybe I'll spend some time with my sister. We'll see. Other than that, I don't have any real plans. This is Kyle says, Scribe Light, never. I will continue to be a fast ass. Fast ass? All right. Well, that's
fast ass.
That sounds like you're a male prostitute on the go or something. Vortex says, good for you, Scribe Light. Well, it's really, it's how do you instill a new habit in your life? You just have to do it and make sure you do it every day. It's like brushing your teeth or something. And then it just becomes reflexive. It's like, okay, I'm home from work, time to do my 10, 15 minutes of whatever. And then I move on with my day. And, as soon as you make it part of your routine, it doesn't seem like as much of a chore as it did like when you're first starting out. But you have to be consistent and you have to maintain it. That's all. Let's see. St. Fugi says, I don't know if I brought it up before, but has Scribe watched Mindhunter on Netflix yet? Yes, I watched Mindhunter. I knew exactly who the, at least in that season, as of yet unencountered serial killer was before. Well, they never mentioned it explicitly, but my serial killer lore told me who it was pretty quick. But yeah, that's a great show. That is a great and interesting show. And man, the guy they got to play Kemper is just amazing. That guy's amazing. You look at that, you look at the footage of the actor, and then you watch the real interviews. It's amazing. Let's see. Anything else? Duck Dog already gave it away. Yes, Dennis Rader. Good for you. Yes, BTK. What else? Hopefully, I'm waiting for that second season to come out. I would have expected to be out by now. Peter Silak Haiti says, has anyone seen the new Predator movie? No, because I knew it would suck by watching the trailer, and I was pretty much right by everything everyone ever told me about it. Did you guys see it?
No.
Nope.
Yeah. The trailer told me that Shane Black took all of the comedy that made Predator good, the first Predator, and decided to make a whole movie based on that comedy, which is not what made Predator good. It's really sad when it's like Predator 2 was better than the most recent Predator. And I like Predator 2. I think Predator 2 is relatively underrated. But
I never really cared for that one. It didn't have there was something missing from the first one, and it's hard to, I don't know. It's almost like Die Hard 2. It's not a bad movie. It's just not as good as the first one.
Well, it's not. I'm not going to say it's as good as, but I still liked it. I liked that they changed the setting. I liked some of the characters they established in the little police force guys, and I liked especially at the last scene, the extending the universe of the Predator out a little bit, the world building. sort of like adding to the lore. Like they've been around a very long time. There was the alien skull on the wall, which was kind of an Easter egg at the time, which made for great fan fiction, and then of course the Dark Horse comic series about Alien versus Predator, and started that whole deal. It has since been milked and abused to death, but at the time I really liked it because it was a novel thing. And there's some lines in there that will never leave me, like "fucking voodoo magic," and the Reuben Blades and the whole Danny boy. There's just like so many things I remember about that. The King Willie, all that stuff. Yeah, I still like it. Celtic Mandalore says, "What would you rather be, Master Swordsman, Master Mage, or Master of the Shadows?" Didn't you ask us this the other day? Like, what's our favorite class, or was that somebody else?
It was similar to this, but there were different classes that were in there.
I mean, if we're talking like Master Mage as in like a necromancer kind of thing, I kind of like that. Master of the Shadows, like assassin kind of thing. I could go either way with those. I don't generally go towards the martial swordsman guy immediately. Sometimes I'll do that, but I'm generally more a sneak and or magic guy. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I'd either go mage or shadows.
Yeah,
Satsu.
All three of those are acceptable.
I mean, so many games now let you mix and match those things that there's not really a clear line. But
I'm not a fan of like tank-like archetypes, like like heavily armored or whatever. But if we're talking like a swordsman who's like very lightly armored and quick and shit like that, I can get down with that. But I just don't really like the frontline sword and shield type characters.
I'll occasionally make like a the super duper tank armored up orc two-handed specialist in Skyrim kind of thing, just to sort of run around and beat things up, just for sort of like the blunt force trauma satisfaction of it. But it's usually like that'll be like my third option if I'm playing that kind of game. What else? We got 3-minute warning, guys. Have any last questions? Anything else to plug or mention before we get to the end of the show, guys?
Not for tonight, no.
Okay. What else? Sneaky orc in case not sneak good. Sneaky orc, says Razdown. Sneaky orc. I always tended to like, it's like in Skyrim, I would always sort of reflexively make, if I was going to do a particular archetype, I'd end up picking a race that seemed to fit that thing. So like, if I was going to do a sneaky thing, it'd be like a wood elf or a dark elf. If I was going to be a barbarian, it'd be like a Nord or an orc. If I'm going to be a wizard, it's going to be a high elf or a Breton, because they always seem to fall inside the archetypes of the whole thing. I never really escaped that notion. I've never played a Khajiit or a Argonian. I don't like the super animal with the tail thing. That doesn't appeal to me visually for some reason.
Whenever I do a thief, or if I'm doing a hand-to-hand build, I do a Khajiit because it just seems fitting.
See, St. Fugi says, and WoW I played an orc rogue, always got the question of why orc. Oh, I see. And 2-minute warning, guys. Almost there. Let's see. Skeptox says, I like to be the most armored barbarian in the world. That's that can be fun. Depends on the game. Any other questions, guys? You guys have so much fun talking to each other. Like we don't even need to be here half the time. It's like might as well just have
we'll just hum in the background. Give me some background music.
Private club for the Lords of the Night audience.
We're just a glorified chat room.
That's right. Glorified chat room. Celtic Mandalore, what type of mage do y'all play? Elemental, necro, healer, etc. Usually, if there's an option, something like dark magic or necromancy or something. Usually,
yeah.
But like with Skyrim, you can't help but end up getting multi-classing all over the place in different magic arts. So, yeah.
With the magic overhaul mod for Skyrim, I liked playing as a blood mage. The blood mage spells were fucking cool.
Okay, I'll try to squeeze this last one in. Math Queen 23 says, what makes a girl interesting and dynamic enough to stay with her for a long period of time? Characteristic, high maintenance, hobbies, intelligence. I don't know that I could give you a checklist. Somebody who is honest, affectionate, loyal, interesting. I don't know. And that's about as specific as I could get, because either you click or you don't. I've come across a lot of intelligent and attractive women. There just wasn't any chemistry,
Yeah, for me, it is honesty and a good sense of humor. Those are the main two things, and Squishy has both. So,
and Monkey.
It's got to be somebody I can talk to, and that'll be different for each person.
Yeah. Thank you, Cryptic. I'm late, but here's a dad joke. Why did the Clydesdale give the pony a glass of water? Because he was a little horse. And with that, guys, thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. As you always do, the show is going to come to an end as soon as my phone beeps at me, because work never leaves me alone. And again, guys, remember, tomorrow night on Monkey's channel, per usual, and as well after tomorrow night's show on Monkey's channel, over on 2 Cents Plus, will be 7 Days to Die open server with Monkey and Satsu. So you can run around, fight zombies, all that good stuff. Otherwise, guys, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always. Everyone, I forgot to say, thank you, moderators, for keeping an eye on things. Chat, you are the best audience in the world, if not the known universe. Thank you, everyone who donated. I really, really do appreciate your generosity. Thank you so much. And other than that, guys, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Today's secret word is experiment.
Muff